Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and His grace. I can hear the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and His grace. I can hear the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
And now I would like to invite up Cheryl Andrus to light the Christ candle and read the daily word. And always know that Cheryl will be available after service to pray with you. I light the Christ candle.
You know, they change things, and it takes a while for us old folks to get it. I light the Christ candle to remind each of us of the divine Christ that is within us, that we live, power, our every day and every movement with the Spirit. Thank you. And now I'm to read the daily word. Let's see if I can do that. The word for today is faith. I express my faith with every choice I make today. My every choice, no matter how small, expresses my faith in something at that time. Those moment-by-moment choices create my life experience, so it would be impossible to live without faith. The great news is that I can change my focus whenever I choose. I am not a victim of the events and challenges in my life. When I pause for a moment to remember the truth of infinite love, I am at peace. I take time today to observe the life I am living. It is a perfect expression of the faith I am holding. Faith allows me to see peace in the midst of conflict, to find abundance where once there seemed lack, and to love all others rather than judge. And from James 1:6, but ask in faith, never doubting, for the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. Amen.
I was just given this right before the...
You got to give me more time. I'm a slow learner. Okay, if Jackie would just stay here with me, I don't know why you're not doing this, but okay. Join me for the Lord's Prayer, followed by Reverend Aubree-Lynn's meditation and Sunday talk. Thank you.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen.
So journey with me today. Journey with me to that place when someone first said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Think about the answers. The ballerina, the fireman, teacher, want to go to the moon. What was it that you wanted to be when you grew up? What was your biggest heart's desire as you traveled on through kindergarten, through elementary school, middle school? What was it that sparked your interest? What was it that you wanted to be a part of? And along that path, as life came along, were there different roads? And which road did you choose? And on that path, and the road that you chose, was it your heart's desire? Was it something bigger and grander? And as you're looking on the path ahead, there's a beautiful light billowing in front of you. And in that light, you can hear, feel, experience an energy. And what it says is this: my beloved, no matter what path you chose, I have been there with you. And each step has been by my divine invitation. There is no right or wrong. There just is. And I am. And as your heart fills with pride and love, a love so pure that you've never felt it before, you know, right here, right now, you are more than enough. You are indeed a perfect, beautiful child of God. And as you slowly and very gently, in your own space and time, move back to this present moment, bring with you the love, the pride, and the joy, knowing that you and your life have made a difference. While I was thinking about the lesson for Labor Day, I was thinking, what does Labor Day mean to me? And then I thought, for the most of the women here, you thought the same thing that I did, giving birth. But as I thought about this, I remembered the old cliche about giving birth, and that's a labor of love. Even though there's a lot of work in giving birth, out comes one thing, a beautiful joy and a sense of accomplishment and great pride. So how many of you feel pride, joy, and a sense of accomplishment in the work that you do or the work that you have done in your lifetime? It's really interesting. Oh, yeah, some people smiling, raising their hands. Great, great. No regrets. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. Okay, I know that part of me always comes out. So anyhow, so I was looking up the word Labor Day in the dictionary, and I was shocked to find that it was described as drudgery, toil, physical, mental, difficult, exhausting, a specific task. I went, whoa. Work, on the other hand, in the dictionary, that was labor. Work says the effort or activity toward the production or accomplishment of some things. That sounds a little bit better, at least. So I find it interesting that we spend a vast amount of our time in work, yet it has such a mundane description. And yet we have this holiday. It's called to honor laborers and have a day off, and it's called Labor Day weekend. So maybe it's time that we revise that word of laboring, to change the perception then from that old drudgery and toil to a perception of what we think about work in general and what we do for a living. More importantly, we need to look at how we treat ourselves and those that we work with during the day. I mean, I am blessed beyond belief to have Leanne and Jackie as part of my daily, quote, workforce. I never think of this as work. To have that and to know that when I walk through those doors, it's always in love and gratitude, and either one of them are going to be hugging me, and it's a wonderful way to start the day. So I'd like to share a very true story with you. When I first opened my cleaning business, and it's difficult to get help when you have a cleaning business. And in California and in New York, there's what's called day laborers, and there are people that literally get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, and they're standing on corners, and they're looking for work. They're mostly immigrants with no green card, and they wait for someone to come pick them up, landscapers, painters, carpenters, people that have cleaning businesses. And I will have to say that some of these people can be a bit seedy looking, which is fine. And this is a long time ago now. So they used to charge $5 a day, an hour, which is even horrible. But then they got some kind of a street corner union going, and they went up to $10 a day. An hour. So I was annoyed by this. Like, who do these people think they are? And I was very opinionated. Not me, of course. But then something hit me. I think it was God hit me in the head. Because these people get up so early in the morning, and they are willing to stand in the rain, the sun, the heat, the cold, to get a job. And the thing that I realized about the $10 an hour was about their self-worth. They decided, I am worth more than $5 an hour. And that sounds like a scientific principle, right? And no lack, no limitation, stand for what you believe. So anyway, so these two American guys came over the car and they said they would take $7 an hour. So, and they were pretty scary. But I had a new business and I had a big job, and I took them. So we passed a Sheraton hotel, which is one of the big hotels, and this guy said, I'm going to take my girlfriend there. And the snob in me said, he's got a girlfriend, and you think you're going to the Sheraton? And then my second thought, as God hit me in the head again, was that was kind of sweet. So the next day I had a bigger job, and this man brought his girlfriend to work with us. Now, she was 42, she had no teeth, and she looked like my grandmother, but I could not help wondering how their life was and how they lived. And let me tell you how I learned about being humble. When we passed the Sheraton again, this guy said, look, there's the hotel I told you about. There's where I'm going to take you. And I saw this woman's face light up. And she said, you're going to take me there? And that's what you're working for? And in that instant, she was the most beautiful woman that I had ever seen. And in that single moment, I learned what motivated people to work. This man was motivated to stand on the corner in any weather whatsoever with unconditional love to save enough money to take this woman, his girlfriend, Dottie was her name, and to take her to the Sheraton for one night. And I will tell you, it's one of the most humbling experiences of my life. And I thought about this a couple of times, many days this week, and I will tell you that it can still bring tears to my eyes, mostly because of my snobby attitude about these people. But you have to understand, we all come from traditions and race consciousness. Now, in my family, I thought we weren't prejudiced. We never could speak bad about or Jewish people or any kind of minorities, but anyone who didn't work in my family was no good. They were considered no good, they were white trash, and they were bad. So none of us know when we're taking that road what we're going to cross. And so I'm encouraging you to look at people and see them differently. See that they're children of God because we're all equal there. And when I used to work with this woman in particular, I just smiled inside, and she made me see my soul. Well, you know where my mother lives? Just pick us up, she said, and her confidence assured me with a laugh. And guess what I was guided to from that? There was a 10-year-old girl that used to hang on the fence of this place where they lived, and her name was Melissa. And Melissa, I would see her, and I would say to Daddy, who is that? And it's my niece, and I'd like to take her to my church. And she said, pick her up on Sunday. I picked her up on Sunday, church. She became one of my teens in my teen group. She became my first Sunday school teacher in my church when I opened my own church. I married her. I baptized her children. All that road from picking up that one seedy-looking man. We never know where the path, where the road is going to take us, and these bumpy things that we meet along the way, we don't know that they're all our teachers, and it's beautiful. So, someone who I really love said to me, it bothers me so much that you have to do this. Clean houses, excuse me, good work for good pay. I chose to do what I was doing, and I chose to do that so that I could leave corporate and so that I could finish my ministerial career. And that business is still alive, and my church administrator bought it when I left. And you never know where the road is going to take you along the way. You can see how quickly we judge. Myself included, I always raise my hand. We do that, and we stop, and there by the grace of God don't I. And Cheryl and I were just having a conversation this morning, just one slip of the road, and we can be in that place of where homeless people need help. Just one wrong turn, or was it wrong? But it's really important that we look around and that we judge people with what? Our own eyes that are judging us back? Right. So let's take a look at the greatest CEO that ever lived, and we can gain some insights into more humility, leadership, and yes, even spirituality on the job. There are actually some companies that do respond to this. So think about this. One person trained 12 human beings who were so influenced in the world that time itself is now recorded as being BC or AD of his existence. One person trained 12 human beings. This person worked with a staff that was human and not divine, a staff that in spite of illiteracy, questionable backgrounds, maybe a little seedy looking, fractious feelings, momentary cowardice went on to accomplish the task he trained them to do. Although he was a recruiter of sorts, he never wasted energy begging, manipulating others to follow him. He had the strength of self-mastery. He had the courage to take action, and he had relationship skills. And his leadership style can be used by any one of us here in this room. And of course, you know who I'm speaking of. That would be the great master teacher, Jesus. If we could take that ancient wisdom alone, that portrayed by Jesus, and brought us to this workplace, no one would have to work for money again. Everyone would do what he and she loved, and the money and the rewards would follow. Do what you love, money follows. So one definition then of a professional man is who does things even when she or doesn't feel like doing. Professionalism is you step up, you do what you don't feel like doing when you have to do it. And of course, the best way to do that is to do the first thing that you don't like first and get it out of the way. And Rhonda's laughing because we will do thousands of things around the whole thing, and then it's like 6 o'clock at night. I stayed at her house for 2 years, and then we would have to, damn, we didn't do that one thing. Do it first and get it over with. Jesus had faith in people that he hired, and he never lost sight of the big mission, and he reached his goal. He was a professional. Yet Jesus was humble. He had a tremendous amount of energy. He had commendable leadership qualities. He gave people a chance, and he brought God with him to work every day. What a concept, to bring God with you every day. So let's take a look at the basic essential qualities of this great CEO. Humble. Number one, can we be humble? What did Jesus say about himself? Greater things than you can do. Greater things. I of myself do nothing. How many of you, when you go to work, encourage people you work with to push them beyond, push them to a higher level? Sometimes when I was in corporate, and Rhonda and I were in corporate, and she can back this, leaders would hire people under them with less motivation because they were so afraid that they may rise up and take their job. A good leader grooms people to take their job, to move up and keep moving up. And I would always hire, now I didn't have an MBA, and when I was in marketing, all of a sudden the MBAs were the thing in marketing. Well, guess what I did? I hired those brains to work under me because they could do all the spreadsheets. I was the creative one. Let them do the numbers, let them do everything. They were amazing. Manage more by doing less, that's my theory. So it's really important. The attitude of inquiry is sacred, and when we rob people of a chance to think and stretch, we rob them of newness. Everybody needs to stretch, and they need to move and go into self-discovery and take that spiritual muscle and really, really work it. Encourage people to dream and above you and work alongside you. Here's what I think. I think we need less coffee breaks. Jackie, are you listening? We need less coffee breaks and breaks. Oh, no, we work hard. I'm just teasing. We're in the morning going, give me coffee, give me coffee. But even Jesus had a boss, and he was never, ever afraid to speak to upper management. Upper management. Can we take upper management with us? And it doesn't matter if we're working for money or we're volunteers, we're on a committee. There's an upper management there, and we can reach for it and bring it down. And then, oh no, we don't have to do that, because guess what? It's already here. It lives within our hearts and souls. So don't be afraid to talk to the boss man. You know, sometimes in New Thought we get, like I don't know how to pray. You can pray anything you want. You just say, dear God, see me through this one. I don't know what to do. That's a prayer. Thank you. That's simple. That's a prayer. I sometimes go around singing, oh, angels, walk me through this one. Don't leave me alone. That's a prayer. Hard to get caught up. I don't know how to pray. Talk. Say what's in your heart. Just let it come out. See, when you realize that you were originally hired by life with a capital L, that's who hired us, to express life-affirming qualities on earth, you'll realize that even if you're in between jobs, even if you're still employed, even if you're retired, your life's bankroll, so you're caring for and earning power in the infinite. The infinite is who pays you, not the boss. The infinite pays you. So when you go to work, remind yourself of your true job description: to express love, wisdom, treat yourself and others with dignity and respect. To remember as well, your coworkers are a work in progress, just like each one of us are a work progress. I finally figured out why I'm going to have a 100th birthday party. I'm a slow learner. So I remember a few years ago going, God, can't I just come back to you? No, I'm not done with you. You're staying here. Whoa. And then you got me. So, so when you show up for work, throw away the work mask. We have masks and we put on different masks. Somebody said to me here, and it was wrong. It said, take off your happy face and deal with yourself. Well, you know what? My happy face isn't a mask. This is who I am. It's not a happy face. It's not a mask. It's Aubree-Lynn. This is who I am. So throw away the work mask. This is how I have to be. Okay, now I'm in corporate, so I got to be like this. And then, of course, Rhonda was in the show department, so she was like this and doing all of the things to make shows great, And then there are the packages guys doing this. No, throw that all away and be united in one. This is what unity is about, being united in one together. When you look back on work, think about being your authentic self. Were you or did you want to be a painter? Oh my God, my daughter is so talented. And I think I told you this before. And I said to her, I don't know, last year or something, why don't you stop being a lawyer and open up this awesome boutique? You're so talented, you're so creative, you're so artistic. And she said, Mom, you told me to get a job that would pay money and not to go to art school. Don't do that to your children or your grandchildren or your nieces and nephews. If they want to be a painter, if they want to be a musician, whatever they want to be, support them. I mean, my daughter's a lawyer and all of that good stuff, but she's so talented. I goofed. Oh, well. So although we don't relate a lot of love and work are one thing to go. And in the passage from the prophet regarding work, Gibran discusses work from a new perspective. We don't often consider it's a perspective in our daily task, and it's inseparable from the ability to love. And this is what he writes. You work that you may keep pace with the earth and the soul of the earth. And think about that, the soul of the earth. That's what we were speaking about this morning in prayer, the farmers and the earth and how it all begins. You work that you may keep pace with the earth and the soul of the earth. For to be idle is to become a stranger unto the seasons, and to step out of life's procession that marches in majesty and proud submission toward the infinite. To become a stranger to the seasons. My friend Tibby and Lynn, you can hear me speak of them often. Lynn brought the big flowers, that's who I'm speaking about. And they just went on a cruise. And I spoke to Tibby this morning, and she said Lynn stayed in her room almost the whole time and didn't get dressed. And I think about to become a stranger in the seasons, to step out of life's procession. Think about that. When you work, you are a flute through whose heart the whispering hours turns to music. When you love what you do, work is music. I get up every morning on Sunday and say, hey, Kitty, it's Sunday, we're going to church. Because I love, that's my flute. Which of you would be a reed, dumb and silent when all else sings together in unison? And that's what I'm singing. No matter what we do, bring it in unity. Bring our volunteers in unity. Bring our charities in unity. Bring where we go to work in unity. Always you've been told that work is a curse and labor is a misfortune. But I say to you, when you work, you fulfill a part of earth's furthest dreams assigned to you when that dream was born. When was your dream born? And if you couldn't do it, you can do it in some type of an organization now where you volunteer. You can still be part of a dream. And in keeping yourself with labor, you are in true loving life. And to love life through labor is to be intimate with life's innermost secret. But if you are in pain, call birth an affliction, and the support of the flesh a curse written upon your brow, then I answer that not, but the sweat of your brow shall wash away that which is written. If you're in pain, you can't experience this. And all work is empty save when there is love. And when you work with love, you bind yourself and to one another and God. And there's more, but he goes on and on. But basically what Brown is saying to us, love and work. At first, the two might not be close, but think about it. If you love what you do, you get up in the morning and you're happy to go there. And if you don't, then you're wasting life. Love, work. Work and love. And so ends the lesson.